Welcome back to the channel, guys. So I finally got my Beast Deities 32 in the mail. This is the Super Dragon Ball Heroes Goku Black from Beast Deities, which was Kong Studios before. This is what the box art looks like. They're calling him SOBEK God of Power now. So it comes in 3 packages. We have the bookmarks, which are the faces, and then we have the pen holder, which is the hair. And then this is where the full body is. So I'll go ahead and get these out of the boxes. Super excited to finally receive this one in the mail because I've been seeing a lot of pictures and posts and things like that. And the figure just looks super dope. Beast Deities now is definitely improving with their work. So this is what the body looks like coming out of the package. He doesn't have anything on yet. I'll get this body out real quick. Put these packages to the side. So this is what the body looks like. Just right off the top, feeling him in hand. He feels really sturdy. It feels like good plastic material. It already looks super dope. So before I get into that, let's open the rest of these packages. This is what the accessories look like when you open your package. These are all the hands. There's the hands and then like the, the alligator face. We could take a look at this real quick. So this is SOBEK God of Power. If you wanted to pose him with this alligator face, there's a lot of details in this, just in case anybody wanted to. It also comes with some alligator hands. These look more like tiger paws, like how the other ones came. So there's a lot of different hands here. Let me try to get them sorted out so we can go over the hands a lot easier. And then I'm gonna pull out the faces. So let me get these all next to each other. So the right hand is in a black glove, and then the left hand is just his actual hand with no glove on. So it looks like we have, after I get these all sorted, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of hands. Before I get into those, this is the pen holder and what the box looks like. And this is going to be the hair skull, which from looking at the pictures and the videos that were posted, the hair skull looks super dope. Beast Deities always comes out with super dope hair sculpts. So this is what the hair sculpts are going to look like once you take it out of its box. Put these to the side real quick. So we have all the accessories out. Before I get into the body, we'll go over the accessories. So he comes with 2 karate style hands. Again, the right hand is with the black glove and the left hand is being shown with no glove. He has 2 karate style hands. There are 2 fists. We have 2 open palm hands, or like key blast hands. I should probably have the right on the right and the left on the left. So we'll get it right on this one. Some more open palm hands. This is probably one where you could put his fist in his hand, or it can also be used as a key blast hand. And then he comes with 2 sets of more of his iconic style hands. So he has a pointing finger. They showed pics online of their accessory pack. Their accessory pack comes with like a key blast effect and his sword and then a base worm head. I didn't order it. It's all preference, but I don't pose my figures with key blasts and things like that. But one of them is like a ball key blast that you can kind of plug this finger into. So I believe that this is what these hands are for, and they look dope. And then he has his iconic kind of like when he's looking at an angle, and then his hand is like, well, the middle finger's out, but then he's still kind of pointing, but it'll be like pointing up. So that's what those 2 hands look like. So 7 set of hands. And then getting into the hair sculpt, like I said before, Beast Deities comes out with like super dope hair sculpt. So you get Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2. We'll see what both of these look like on the figure. But before we do that, we'll just get a closer look at this hair sculpt. So it looks like it's a pink plastic with some white airbrush. The line details and the sharpness and the spikes and the bangs look super dope. So that's what the peg looks like. I need to go over the faces yet. So the bookmarks. The bookmarks are the faces, and this is what the box looks like. So when you get them out of the package, this is what you will be looking at. So you get 4 different faces here. Get all these packages out of the way. So we'll go over these different faces real quick because the faces look dope too. So starting off with the first face, this one's kind of like his iconic look where he's looking to the side. The details look super dope in this mask. As you can see, the line details in his one eye that's showing. The pink on this hair is kind of like it looks like a pearlescent. Hopefully you could catch that shine on camera. And then they show that you could take this mask off, which you can. So when you look under the mask, this is kind of like a side smirking face. Probably can't pose him like that because there's holes in his face. Maybe if you want to customize that, maybe add some clay and paint over it. So that's what those pegs look like. And the next face is like his pupils got smaller, so, and his mask is just as cut open. So if we pop this off and see what the actual face looks like, is, well, the teeth aren't painted in. I'm sure you could do that yourself if you wanted to. But he's kind of like a menacing teeth gritting, maybe like a key blast face. But the line details look good. The paint looks good. They're just getting better and better with their figures here. Next is he's kind of like looking forward. And again, the mask is kind of torn up in the same way. The line details look good. If you take the mask off, it's kind of like a smirking face, so that looks pretty dope. They added like more of like a darker outline in his eyes, which makes him look more evil and menacing. So I think that looks sick. Put that mask back on. And then last but not least, this is when his mask is like almost torn completely off, so you could kind of get a better look at his face with his like menacing grin there, kind of like a smirk. This is the only face that has like the black pupils inside. The other one are just like all red. So that looks dope. Take this mask off. And that's what it looks like on the inside. So it'd be hard to pose him without this mask. You could probably get him with this face, kind of like, you know, if you pose him to the side like that. But I don't see why you would want to take this mask off. The mask looks sick. Let's put one of these faces on here. Excuse me. So I'll put this face on first since we can see his face. So this is what the pegs look like before you plug the face in. Go ahead and pop this on like this. It's kind of like tight fit. There's not much of a gap there. There is kind of a gap right here behind his ear, but that shouldn't be that noticeable. This is what the pegs look like for the hair bangs. That pops in, should pop in. Let me see here. Maybe get this face on a little bit better. Kind of like wiggle it in there, it's a little bit tight. Yeah, this peg on this side is kind of, there you go. Now it's in there, so there is a little bit of a gap, but again, that's not too bad. So that looks good. Before I pop this head on the body, we'll go ahead and see what the difference is between SHF Goku Black and then Beast Deities Goku Black. So this is a nice color on this SHF. Well, this is actually a demoniacal fit, but it's pretty much the same. The pink looks good, but demoniacal fit is more of like painted pink with a little bit of contrast from dark to light. But you could tell the difference between the spikes. So the spikes make the biggest difference with the line detail. More of like Dragon Ball Z look of what we're accustomed to as far as what I grew up on and what everybody watches. Hopefully you agree. But I think this is more closer to this full power Goku. That's probably where they got the sculpt from, but then they kind of like took that and made it a whole lot better. It's still a huge difference in the spikes. The spikes are sharper with better line detail, so kind of get a comparison there. And then they'll swap out this for the Super Saiyan 2 Bang. This face with the, well, I'll just leave it in there for now. We'll try a different face after. And the Super Saiyan 2 Bang goes on a lot easier. And that looks sick, man. Super dope. Super dope, Beast Deities. So to get a comparison between these two, which is a Super Saiyan 2 head, is more of like this one from Demonical Fit and SH Figure Arts. Both had the same sculpt, but you can see that Beast Deities went ahead and took that sculpt and then they made it their own, which in my opinion looks a whole lot better. So that's a comparison between the hair, and we can start putting this guy together here. So this is what the peg looks like before you plug the head on. Beast Deities, and which was Kong Studios before, they always use like a bigger neck peg, but that actually works out a lot better for articulation and sturdiness. So you go ahead and plug this peg in right here, pops in nice and clean. There is a gap there, but if you work like fiddle this neck peg around, you should be fine. So looking at the figure up close, and like I said, it feels nice and solid. Like it doesn't feel cheap. The other figures that they came out with, like the plastic material was kind of like, I don't know, it felt like hollow or cheaply made, I guess you can say, but the sculpts nonetheless looked amazing. So starting from the top, this is like a rubber plastic for his gi. You can actually pull that down. We'll get into his butterfly joints when I start doing the articulation, but this is what it looks like. And damn, they got, like, he's super buff underneath here. The details in his muscles look amazing. This figure's dope. I'm not gonna lie, this figure's super dope. So this is all black plastic, and then with the purple painted over the black, obviously here's the same. And then same thing on this side. This is a really soft rubber plastic, so it shouldn't hinder articulation. Moving down to, this is all black plastic with the purple paint and then the white outline. And then this is a black plastic with the yellow paint over that. And then this part's a white plastic. So getting into articulation, before I put the hands on, because I want to talk about these wrist pegs, you can look down, all the way down, which is very good. You can look all the way up once you push that neck peg back. You get a little bit of a gap there, but if you don't want that, obviously you could keep it about right there, but he can look up that far if you wanted to keep that gap. Again, with this thicker neck peg, he's gonna have like really good head tilt. That's good there. It can go side to side. And then for his shoulders, they go up about that far. This strap here is probably, well, it's actually not hindering it because it does bend. That's just how far his shoulders go up, so that's okay. You can still get a full 360 range of motion even with those straps on. So now getting down to his butterfly joints. There is a butterfly joint here, and it looks like it's got some good articulation, so we'll see how far he can reach to his chest. And even with this gi on, he can reach in about that far, which is not bad at all. Moving down to his bicep swivel, that's really good. He's got the double jointed elbows. And again, this figure feels super, it feels good. It feels like really good material. You can hear like the squeak and things like that. So moving down to the wrist pegs, right? So for the first releases, or the other releases rather, that they came out with, like the wrist pegs were really flimsy. They were like splitting. These wrist pegs feel really tight already. They get full range of motion here. They can go on a full 360. And then we'll actually see the difference. And this part right here is actually like a softer rubber. They said they added this in as something that would be new. So this is definitely new. It looks like it's going to hide. It'll probably hide the wrist peg. So I'll put a hand on in a second. Well, I'll put both hands on in a second. Moving down to his ab crunch. There's not much crunch there. As he moves it down about that far, he can look up about that far. This kind of pops out, so that looks pretty cool. His ab crunch in the inside, if you take a look closely, there's not much articulation on this part, that from belly to chest area. If we move down to his waist, you kind of like pivot that on whatever kind of peg it's on, and then it can get a full 360. And this is actually 2 pieces. I thought it was going to be one, which would probably be weird, but it eliminates the gap right there when you're moving them up and down. It actually looks like he's got clothing on. So moving down to his legs, he can do the splits no problem. The 3.0s always can do that. Like I said, this is really soft rubber, so it won't hinder your articulation when you're gonna have him do the front split. With the 3.0s, the butt part is always hindering them moving their legs back, so it goes back about that far, but he can kick all the way up. So if you kind of get him down like that, it looks like the splits, but he's actually kicking that leg up. Moving down to the thigh swivel, feels really good. He's got the double jointed knees. He's got the ankle rocker, which feel nice and tight. Another complaint about the other releases where the ankles were really loose, so it was hard to balance them. It can go up and down, no problem. That feels pretty good. And then he's got the toe hinge. So the articulation feels great. The figure feels really great in hand. So I'm gonna put a hand on here. Let's go ahead and put this this hand on so he can get into that iconic pose. Yeah, that pops on very well, and that feels really good. It's not loose at all, and I'll show the difference in a second. But just right off the top, there's no gap here, so you don't see the peg. Let me put this other hand on real quick so that we can see what I'm talking about with the other figure that I have to compare it to, which is the Super Saiyan 3 Goku that was released. Kind of wiggle this on. Yeah, that's a tight fit, but it does snap on pretty good. And yeah, that's really good actually. So again, it doesn't show his wrist peg. It looks like he is all put together very well. And the difference between that is I have the Super Saiyan 3 Goku release, and one of the complaints was that the wrist pegs, they're really funky. Like you can see it hanging down, like it doesn't look really good. And then they're like really loose fitting as far as like the hands, like this can come off very easily. You know, and it's not as sturdy. You see a little bit of a split there, so they definitely fixed that issue. And then another issue was with the feet. So with the Super Saiyan 3 release, the feet were like, they seemed like unbalanced because they weren't flush. But these feet, as you can see, they're completely flat. So as you stand up this Super Saiyan 3 Goku, especially with the hair on, like it's kind of, it just seems like it's not balanced correctly. So when you actually stand up Goku Black, his feet are nice and flush and he stands up well. So since I have him standing, we'll do some quick height comparisons. Scoot some of this stuff over. So Beast Deities figures are usually pretty tall, and then this Goku Black is actually taller than this Super Saiyan 3 Goku release, so he's towering over that. Next comparison we have is to see how well it's going to scale with the actual SH Fig Arts. And this is him next to Goku Black. This is a demoniacal fit, but there's zero difference between the demoniacal fit and the actual release. So he's way taller than the SHF. And then, like I said, he feels just as solid as this Martialist Forever from Demoniacal Fit. The material and the plastic feels the same. So if you're wondering if Beast Deities, you know, if their figures are a lot better as far as quality, it's definitely a lot better. You know, it's very stiff, nice and tight. The joints are nice and squeaky. The wrist pegs feel amazing. So then here's the height comparison between him and Goku, but I just put Gohan's head on there. And then last but not least, to get a better look, is him next to Saiyan Rays on Earth Goku. So again, this is Beast Deities number 32. This is Goku Black from Dragon Ball Super Heroes. So before I close out, I'll go ahead and swap out a face and then get him in a good pose. I kind of like his iconic look, so we'll put his, this is the side looking face, then I'll put the Super Saiyan 1 bang back on. And we'll have him pose like this. So if you feel like this video was helpful, you can go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to keep a lookout for my next videos to come, go ahead and subscribe. Until then, thank you for watching.